Howdy, folks. Bill Oxidean here. So I've been telling you guys about this build for a while now. Black, shiny carbon, Magnum 44 twin cat with a hobby wing, 4685, 1500 kV motor with the hobby wing 200 amp 14S ESC. I did a lot of saw racing, a lot of straight line competition, and I've seen boats like this go really fast with a lot of volts and RPMs involved. A lot of times it's like with laner stuff. The laner motors are 2-pole, so they're really RPM based, but the rotors are huge, so you get a lot of torque as well. Those motors are just special. Well, we're going to try to do similar with a hobby wing based domestic type of system. What we're going to do is we're going to throw 10S LiPo at it. Now, I know for a fact that in the Animal, we threw 10S at the 1650 kV motors, and it did great. You know what I mean? It did like 115. This is 1500 kV. It's a bit less kV, 10S. And let's see if we can put maybe a slightly larger prop. But these setups tend to like around a 45 millimeter prop. So I'm going to build this boat up and let's just see what we get. Shall we? Hi there, I'm Bill Oxidean. I raced radio controlled model boats for over 25 years. Over that time, I won a lot of races and broke a lot of records, and I learned a lot, not just about boats, but about life. Eventually, I graduated to full-size drag boats, and I've had a great time doing that. Now, I have my own RC boat factory. We make the world's fastest, most reliable radio-controlled boats. Join us as we show you all about it. All right, guys. So in this case, I'm basically just building something mean just to be building it. You know what I mean? 1500 kV isn't quite enough to go super dumb on 10S. I'll tell you what. Hobby Wing's sending me some 2000 kV and some 2200 kV motors. Okay? And if the 1500s aren't wicked enough to give us what we want, we'll just have to put some higher kV motors in there. But you know what? We're going to build this out. And where I'm going to start, boss, is hull reinforcement. Not so much hull reinforcement, but hull reinforcement. As always, minus the kitty cat hair, we're going to foam this sumbitch out. Okay? We're going to foam it out. But this hatch is super light. It's double thick, but it's just really light weave. So I'm going to do an inlay. I'm going to do an inlay, at least one layer inside the lid. And first and foremost, what I'm going to do is put some extra epoxy in the motor mounts. That's going to be our first line of business. Well, besides get rid of these bungs. You guys with me? Let's get fucking started. All right, within minutes, I got those bungs removed with my heat gun. And that allows me to mark a placement of these 200 amp HV ESCs. They look wonderful here. They fit so nicely. Okay guys, so I'm building this like it's my personal boat. Although somebody's probably gonna buy it when I get done after you guys watching me build this thing. What I'm gonna do is reinforce the motor mounts while I have it upright like this. Up in here, I'm gonna pile epoxy up into that corner and this corner on both sides while it's upside down like this and gravity is on its side. While I have it up like that, I'm also gonna go inside and foam this thing out. I'm mixing my own special blend of accelerated cure epoxy with thickener and a black pigment. It doesn't take a lot of black pigment, trust me. And there you have it, Bill's special concoction. Now we take our syringe and get to applying it. Alright, pretty lady. It's not all prima donna pretty and clean. We got some epoxy built up on there. We built some epoxy into there. I got it to puddle. I wanted it to puddle. Uncover a lot of the plate. I got it all up under here, all inside there. And while it's upright like this, we're gonna let it cure. We're also gonna do some foam. Mixing the two-part foam, I feel like I'm conducting a cooking class now. I've never done this procedure like this before. We've got two things happening. Something curing and something rising. All right, I'm working this thing a lot right now. Let's let things cure and rise for a bit. Okay, now that was one hell of a pour. It went right up to the trays. That one came a little bit shy, but come on. This stuff is so unpredictable. That was a really good pour. As we check up here, this is puddling really well. Really good puddling over here. Really good puddling. It's going as well as planned. So far, so good. Okay, so that cured out well. Let's go ahead and get some reinforcement epoxy on the front side of these motor mounts. Mixed up another batch of Oxyloop. This batch I made a little thicker. Now when I do it thick like this, it doesn't look pretty. It looks like peanut butter gloop down there. But it's mine, so I really don't care. And I know that it bonds like hell. It's super strong. Sloppy shit, but it's reinforced. Next, for good measure, I think I'm gonna do the servo mount. Well, I goober the servo mount up with some Oxy Gloop. I'm gonna put a little more gloop in the corners here on both sides, just for reinforcement of the motor mounts. Once we let all this cure, that's it for the hull reinforcements, except next we're gonna do an inlay on the hatch. Now these hulls are strong, very strong they are. But when you're putting 10S and some big ass ESCs, some bigger than normal motors and stuff in there, and going well over 100, it's gonna take its toll. So I'm gonna do an inlay in here. We're gonna do a 5-ounce cloth inlay. I'm gonna cut about an inch around the outside perimeter of the whole thing, because when the cloth lays into the lid, it shrinks up some. So I've got the cloth cut and mock laid in there. It's definitely enough cloth. And I'm not going to play-by-play, step-by-step you on this inlay, because we only have much time for the video, but I'm going to get her done. Tape the edges off because I don't want it to get all messy. Spray adhesive. Okay, with the adhesive, I've stuck the cloth in and really worked it into all the corners, all the edges really well. I'm going to cut more of this excess off the edge now while it's still dry. Alright, now with the edges trimmed off, this thing is prepped really well. I'm going to mix up some resin and get to puttying this thing in. And I'll be laying this resin in with a foam brush. We have achieved a very clean wet out. I'm going to roll it down, make sure there's no bubbles. Yeah, we got a clean wet out on this. We're going to let it cure. We're going to let this thing cure for a while, for a couple of hours, a few hours. Then we'll trim the edges. Feel how stiff it is. If we like it, we're going to foam it out.
And now, a word from our sponsors.
The Animal Twin Cat by Oxidean Marine is one amazing boat. Lightning fast, the agility of a cheetah, the strength of a tiger. I mean, this boat is just unstoppable. As of right now, it is at the top of the speed run list as far as ready to run boats, which is totally awesome. Our drivers have been able to put this boat on an absolute pedestal. We are so honored at the great job that they are doing, getting our boats on the speed run list and keeping us at the top. As many know, I, Bill Oxidean, the creator, have many years of RC boat racing experience. Not just GPS stuff, not just goofing off at home, but we're talking about actual sanctioned racing experience. The 2025 Rampage is a very powerful boat. We have clocked this boat at over 120 miles an hour, and that is with the old power system in it. Exciting new graphics, exciting new power system with bigger motors. This is the must-have big boy toy of the year. Either carbon fiber, carbon Kevlar, or gel coat in one of our beautiful colors, and we even have graphics. Stay tuned to Oxidean Marine. The hull reinforcements are almost done. Soon it'll be time for me to just build up all the electronics, and I can do that in no time. All these procedures you see being done, like this hatch is still curing, I can do them with the greatest of ease at the drop of a hat. And I do it clean and neat, professionally. I might just marathon build this boat. I might just build it on straight through, all in one day. I'm taking my time with each procedure, and they're all coming out clean, so why not? Come in with my spatula and tuck corners. Damn, I caught this thing at the right tackiness. I think I am gonna stick another layer of cloth in there. Okay, I carpeted another layer of cloth in there because I touched it and it was just like the perfect tackiness. If you're gonna do 2 layers of cloth, you wanna do it when the first layer is really sticky, almost like an adhesive. And there it was. So you know what? It didn't take much work. I'm gonna cut some excess off this, then wet this cloth out. Okay, now this second layer wet out real nice, real resin rich. We'll let this cure, and I'll trim the edges. It'll be nice, clean inlay. Now I've sanded all the edges clean. Let's untape this thing. Now that it's all cleaned up, everything laid in well. No warpage, everything fit right back on, just nice. Okay, now this all rose up and inflated out. Very nice. Just how I wanted it. Got a nice, excellent bubble in the hatch. This boat is completely reinforced the way I'd like it to be. Well, the hull and hardware itself are all reinforced, and they've come out exactly how I envisioned it. Again, folks, they don't need all this stuff just to survive, okay? I'm gonna be sending this thing to the moon. I'm gonna be putting 10S to it. You know what I mean? And that's a lot of batteries, and the motors are bigger. They're 4685. I'm putting these 2 big ass 200 amp ESCs in there. You know what I mean? So that's a lot of weight. So we reinforced it so we don't have to worry about nothing. You know what I mean? Again, remember we reinforced the servo mount, the motor mounts, inlaid the lid, foamed it out, foamed out the tunnel and the belly pan. I love it. So I still got plenty of energy to work on this thing tonight. But what we're gonna do is, since we did all this bonding, we're gonna let everything get cured and say good night. Good night. So I put the motors in. They sure look good. I really like that. I decided I'm gonna route the wires behind the motors, around the sides of the motors, and through the motor mounts for a cleaner look, because it's got some long wires from the ESCs. Matter of fact, let's get these ESCs mounted up. Okay, these ESCs are mounted on, and that's looking good. It sure is looking good. I wasn't able to do the behind the motor thing, but we can do it under the front because there isn't that much excess wire, and that is a good thing. I also went ahead and put this black old school Pro Amp servo in there because the theme we're going for is black is beautiful. Let's get this thing plumbed up.
with some water tubing.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. That show looks good. Yep. We got it all plumbed up. All hosed up. All black. Like I was saying, folks, the theme of this boat is black is beautiful. Yep. We're getting real close, gentlemen. Next, we'll set up the steering. Now it's done. It's all complete. What a beauty. Slick and sleek. There's nothing else out there like an Oxidean boat. This version of the 114, look at this seam. You can see it inside the gel, but there is no contention. This thing is completely, perfectly, absolutely, and utterly smooth. That's what you call a high quality hull. Super high gloss finish. Really gorgeous. Take a look at the backside. We have a beautiful rudder system. Beautiful ball bearing outdrives. Beautiful hardware. Quasar GPS module. This is my new speed antenna situation. I've discovered that well over 100 miles an hour, it wants to rip the antenna right out of its mount. So we've got it nice and secured. And of course, voila! Look at the meat. You're not going to say, where's the beef on this? This thing is plumbed and wired and routed and loomed up real nice to precision. 4685, 1500 kV motors, 200 amp Hobby Wing ESCs, old school Pro Amp servo. These used to come in our boats, and I put it in here because it's black and still Oxidean equipment. Everything is routed well, epoxy reinforced. This boat's ready to go real fast, rough and tumble. We reinforced the lid, we foamed it out. We foamed out the hull without a doubt. This thing is totally rad. We're gonna run it on 10S LiPo, 6 and 4 on each side. And believe you me, typically we use SMC batteries. These, they don't have them in stock right now, and the China Hobby lines are gonna have to do the trick. Always know, when you do this trick, 6 and 4 to make 10, you must use the exact same type of cells, exact C rating, exact milliamps, exact brand. Do not mix and match anything weird. These are all basically the same cells in different configs. So when we put them together, it's like any other battery configuration. Give you guys a parting shot on the black side. And that's about it, guys. I built myself up a boat for personal use. I built up just how I build you guys' boats, as you've seen in other builds. This boat is slick, dude. And I haven't hit the water with it. I'll tell you what. If one of you cowboys wanted this boat, I'd be willing to sell it to you. We're in the business of selling boats. I'll just build myself another one if somebody wanted this thing. Give us a call or email if you're interested in this boat. And enjoy the Super Bowl, guys. I don't know what team you're rooting for. I know what team I'm rooting for. Oxidean Marine. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe to our channel, smash that like button, and by all means, continue enjoying radio control model boating. Bill Oxidean and the sick Magnum 44 and Fluffy, over and out.